Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the fall 2020 sports meeting that, like everything else, is going virtual. I don't know about y'all, but I need sports back in my life very much, very badly. Much of our preparations for a fall sports season is some guesswork, but the tireless effort of our parents to put together sports for Weddington Middle School will not be. Usually in our gymnasium in front of a big crowd, I look back toward the stage and introduce some key players who just wave at our big crowd that gathers for this event under normal circumstances. We get a big crowd and our sports are growing because Weddington has established itself as somewhat of a sports town now, having garnered a couple state championships in multiple sports and also a few Wells Fargo award winners for the best athletic program in the state. Something you have to know about our middle school is that volunteers make our sports happen. Every fall sport at Weddington Middle School is brought to you by our athletic booster club, and a relative few do a ton of work to make sports happen for our school. If we were live in our gym, I'd probably be presenting our outgoing president, Mrs. Amy Anthony, with a well-deserved bouquet of flowers. She's injected us with some new life and different ideas and grown our booster club to better manage our ever-increasing popular sports offerings. Coming in with plenty of his own energy and insight is Chris Jones, and he is already all in as it relates to fall sports at Weddington Middle School and all of our interested families. After introductions, I usually touch on ethics and reference our board liaisons. Basically, it's like this. We have to rely on each other to remind us all it's middle school sports. We're pay to play, and though some teams do cut, we have to. It's the last stop before the increasingly competitive world of high school sports. If you have conflict with a coach or a program, please sit on it temporarily. Don't approach a coach after a game. Remember, you're representing your children. Most of us get passionate easily about sports. That's what makes them so appealing. But these are children, and our focus, of course, is development and sportsmanship. The liaisons are board members who represent sports they're less directly connected to as parents, and they can help us navigate conflict if and when that arises. Joe Leach is our athletic director, and he sort of best ties the booster club to our school. And then Mr. Ronnie West is our assistant principal, who helps me and the booster club with basic operations. We're the school members, but again, I think the parents, coaches, and other volunteers who really do the hard work to bring sports to our school. Now, for the information about our fall seasons, I'll turn it over to the booster club leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Leak, and thank you to parents for watching our Athletic Booster Club presentation. Needless to say, this is not the way we wanted to end our season for our spring teams, nor did we want to have our final meeting of the year via video. Back in January at our meeting, we welcomed a standing room only crowd to our gymnasium. There was a lot of excitement for our upcoming season. Our team started play at the beginning of March, and they were proving that they were going to be a force this year. Unfortunately, our athletes, coaches, and players were not able to enjoy a full season. Now, looking forward to fall 2020, there are still a lot of unknowns. As it stands today, we still do not know when we will be able to resume sports programming. Even though this is the case, we are moving forward with registration. We hope to have our ducks in a row and be ready to hit the field as soon as it is safe. In order to do that, we need parents to go ahead and register their athlete for 2021 sports. Registration will officially open on June 8th and close on July 3rd. It is imperative that parents read the guidelines for registering on our website, which is Wmsabc.com, and complete their process by the deadline. It is a two-step process: athlete registration and sport registration. Please note that this year you will not need to register your athlete if you did so last year. Only new students to Weddington Middle School Athletics will need to complete the athlete registration. However, all students will need to register for the sport or sports they wish to try out for. Returning athletes will need to ensure that their insurance information is current and their physical is up to date. Please note that the modified physical paperwork requirements due to COVID-19 can be found on our website. I can't stress enough to read the guidelines and let us know if you have any questions. It makes life so much easier for our volunteers if we can all help out with this portion. And on that note, I would like to take this opportunity to send out a heartfelt thank you to all of our volunteers and fans that made this year such a success. We had tremendous support from our school administration, our coaches, our team parents, and our board members. It took a lot of wonderful people to come together and give our students the best experience we could. I just want to take a minute to hit some of the highlights. This year, we registered over 760 athletes at Weddington Middle School. We tripled our Wildcat Club membership, and we are grateful to all those donors. These funds help provide financial support to purchase new uniforms for soccer and lacrosse. We were able to restore a safe playing surface for Ray Field. We were able to retrofit our ball field to allow use by softball and baseball. We were able to purchase a new volleyball net system for the upcoming season and purchase shoulder pads for football. In just a minute, our nominated incoming president, Chris Jones, will let you know how you can continue to support our organization. I also want to say that we are very proud of our student athletes. On many occasions, I was told by people outside the school that our student athletes showed great character and sportsmanship. Many of our teams participated in community service projects. We had students take part in the Weddington Litter Sweep, make holiday cards for our service members, make personal hygiene bags for the homeless, collect food and blankets for the Hartford Monroe, and also conduct a training clinic for youth athletes in Monroe. Victories on and off the field are just as important. As I close out, I just want to recognize some of the people that have led us this year. We have a few people moving on, but luckily we have some great people continuing on here at the middle school. I would like to send off the following with a huge thank you. Heidi McDermott, who did an amazing job as equipment manager. Heather McAdam, who tirelessly did our newsletter each week. Sheila Lax, who very diligently handled our accounts receivable. Brian Smith, who took care of the payables and coached a little wrestling in between. And Megan Zepp, who handled the eye-popping 760 athletes this year. I want to wish the best the incredible board members who wish to return for another year. Christy Schrader, Monica Barger, Norma Felipe, Karen Murphy, and Chris Jones. You can read their bios and the bios of all the newly nominated members on our website. There, you can also cast your vote to elect the new board. Voting will close on June 12th. In wrapping up, I want to wish our Wildcat families all the best next year. I want to encourage you to reflect on how you can volunteer. Even in a small role, you can make a huge difference for our children. And also, to note on what Mr. Leek said, remember that this is a youth sports program. Take a chance to enjoy what sports teaches our children: sportsmanship, hard work, and perseverance. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to Chris. Thank you very much.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome parents and student athletes of Weddington Middle School. My name is Chris Jones, and I am looking forward to serving you as the president of the Booster Club. Wanted to shoot a quick video just real quick to share a couple items with you that are very important to the Booster Club. I got my notes here, so I want to make sure I hit everything. We've come to a close on a very crazy time. 2020 didn't end exactly the way we wanted to. I don't think anybody could have saw that coming. We need to go ahead and start preparing for the 2020 or the 2021 year, and for the fall sports of 2020-2021 year. And I want to talk to you about three things. I want to talk to you about the Wildcat Club. I want to talk to you about sponsorship and then volunteering. So we're going to start off with the Wildcat Club. I want to make sure you understand what the Wildcat Club does. The fees that you pay when you pay for a sport. So if you pay a fee for football or for soccer or for track, often those fees are going to go to field rental, umpires, their uniforms, field upkeep. So some of those things that we have to pay for. So what the Wildcat Club allows us to do is it allows us to be able to do field improvements, equipment improvements. I think Amy referenced in a video earlier where she talked about how we were able to build, completely regrade the softball field, add a big fence, what we now call the Green Mile at Weddington Middle School. So those are just some of the things that we're able to do through the Wildcat Club. That's a $100 donation that when you go to register, you'll register your athlete, then you'll register for your sport. And then when you go to check out, there'll be a place there for you to join the Wildcat Club. Your donations through the Wildcat Club is what allows us to provide, the best safe environment just really gives our chance of kids to win. And so we would appreciate, you donating and helping us out through the Wildcat Club. I also want to talk a little bit about sponsorship. Sponsorship opportunities. There'll be a place on Wmsabc that allows you to do sponsorships. We have banners. As we mentioned, we have banners that could go on the now Green Mile, which is the tall field, the tall fence that we have on the softball baseball field. You see that we will have plenty of opportunity to do that. We also send out emails every week to over 7,000 email addresses for current and past students and families that have come through. Great demographic, great chance where we thank our sponsors. So it's a great way to get in there. We would love your help in doing some sponsorship. Again, sponsorship and the Wildcat Club are two ways that we raise funds to be able to do, Ray Field, for example, which is where a lot of kids and sports will practice, completely redone. They were getting rocks. There was bare spots, so we were able to completely redo that entire field. If you haven't seen it, go by and check it out. And then lastly, volunteer. So if you would want to coach, if you're interested in coaching, there's a section on the website that allows you, says, coaching opportunities, or I'd like to coach. You would have to do a background. We'd want to get that done. If you want to volunteer as an assistant coach, you need to fill that stuff out so that we have an opportunity. We're still looking for coaches for several sports. Check out our website to figure that out for the fall. But this was usually something that we would do in an auditorium in May, where we're talking about the rising 6th, rising 7th, and rising 8th graders for next year. But this is the way we have to do it. It's a new normal, right? We're going to do these videos. So super stoked about getting started for the year, and super stoked to seeing all you students and your parents out there on the field. So that's all I have for now. So bye for now. We'll see you soon.